There are a few brass details on these panels here. So one way I really want to make this ship mine is to put just some brass side panels basically. I really should have wiped the brush off before I did this because it's touchy. I was thinking I might do color fixes like black with a black Sharpie instead of paint, but it might be faster, but it would definitely be not as accurate. And there's a chance the black wouldn't match. And down in here it looks like it needs some. And I now see the red detail goes up there. So we may as well hit that while we do these. Essentially these pieces are just about done. And we're on to purple. Reference has the entire middle set. What am I doing with that? Reference has the entire middle slot devoted to purple. And this is going to be really nice and thick, I can tell by the thinner here. Oh yeah, I do love me some good purple. But this is far too thick and the metal isn't going to show through. So what I'll do here is continue painting it purple. And I'll apply some thinner to it. There we go. I did splatter. So I'm probably going to have to do some touch-up on all of these anyway. See if I can be a lot carefuler this time. So apart from some touch-ups, these pieces are pretty much done. I'll get some close-ups of them a little later. The metallic effect I was going for is carried through pretty well, it looks like. Just a few minor touch-ups here and there. What I'm going to try with this piece here, this is kind of scuffed and there's a little discrepancy in the green repairs. Looks like I got a little gray up here, but what I want to try is sealing one of these pieces in matte clear to see if it, one, gets rid of any shiny scuffy marks, and two, if it covers up or at least mollifies some of the color discrepancies. And if those two cases there's a little black smearing, let's go and try it with this piece. Then again, I'm going to wait. I'm going to leave these as ready for the next phase, and we're going to bag them up. These parts need correction before they go down on the floor. Overall, I'd say these are probably 80% there. Just got to bring them on home now. Next up, what I'm painting is anthracite gray onto speaker panels. And that has led me to pull out this piece, which I was thinking, well, it's done except for the paneling. So we're going to do the paneling right now. Let me pull out the reference. The grill holes have gotten filled up with paint, so I'm just taking this screwdriver and quickly kind of giving them some indents in an effort to hopefully make that look just a little bit better. So on the directions for this piece it says that all of the communication grills are anthracite gray with brass surroundings. It doesn't make that mention on, well, it sort of mentions that on this one. It just gives the color K, which I'm going to guess offhand is brass. Let's look that up real quick. It is indeed. That should be more than enough. I'm going very light here. So using this one to practice for the other one. I've already painted the brass outer ring on the other one, so I'd like to see if I can do this without affecting this outer ring on this one. This is a very subtle color at this scale. But pretty much accomplished. Let's go for this one. As you saw, this is fairly well mixed, and it's still really, really light and washy. It looks like the enamel medium is as much simply a carrier for sparkle stuff as it is for any actual pigment. So this may warrant a couple passes here. It does go nicely against the brass. The double glasses here. When you're maneuvering pieces around, especially bigger ones, always mind your surroundings and remember what's going on. These fiber optic wires would be more than happy to knock something over. So I'm going to use this as a slight detailer up on these other panels. So all the anthracite is done and the brass is done. So on this particular piece, it's filling in some simple silver. Trying to go with as light a brush as possible. Wet enough so that it'll move along the surface, but dry enough that it doesn't go rolling too far by itself. So these panels are all getting fibered up, so there won't be any more painting to do on them. And I will have to check and see if this door rim has a color, an accent color. I'm thinking it might be silver. I recently noticed watching the show that these two edges that run along the side of the interior beam are silver. Just the edges. So this piece might now be done. Rolling up your loose sleeves is always a good idea. So on the doorways, it doesn't look like there's any accent color. That kind of surprises me. But that's fine enough. It can always be done a little later as long as it's done before the piece goes on the floor. One thing before this piece goes on the floor, I've got to create a back insert because once this goes down there won't be any good way to reliably get it into place, unwrinkled. So I'm going to come up with a graphic for that. I was thinking this door had a window, but watching the show it doesn't seem like maybe it does. It might be the far side that has the window. This piece looks good. It looks like the little scratches in the paint have pretty much disappeared. And it looks like the color differences have gone away as well. Let's try one of these wall pieces here. This one should do. So it looks like I'm going to spray this after all. So there's definite significant scratching up in this area, over here along that line, down at the bottom there. A couple spots throughout, and the greens are definitely off hue.